My dog's favorite thing, after food, is playing tag. If he gets out of the house, it's game on, and he never gets caught until he is ready to go back inside. It's not just that he's fast and corners on rails. Our backyard only has a fence on 3 sides, so when he does a runner, it only takes a few circles before he's out on the street. When we made an offer to buy this house, my wife and I agreed that a top priority would be fencing off the backyard so our dog could get outside without catching a case of automobile poisoning. But the house is basically surrounded by concrete, so I couldn't just dig holes for fence posts. I did some research and decided that these BISupply anchor brackets are the thing. And then I spent hours drilling holes in the concrete. At first, I started with a thinner drill bit before moving to a bigger 3/8 of an inch drill bit required by the Tapcon anchors. But I realized pretty quickly that it was easier to only use the 3/8 of an inch bit. And I'm sorry if the time-lapsey video is jarring because of the fast motion. That motion is me dipping the drill bit into a cup of water to cool it off. I learned the hard way on previous projects at my last house that if I don't cool the bit, it'll eventually melt and I'll need to buy a new one. It's slow and boring work, and I think it took me 3 weeks to get all 4 anchor brackets in. But it was very satisfying to reach this little breakthrough moment when the drill bit just goes right in. While screwing in the anchors, oh man, I should have worn gloves. My knuckles look like a little kid's knees in summer from scraping against all the concrete. Once that was done, things moved much more quickly. I started at the top, a mistake actually, and then used a piece of scrap to space out the boards. Here's the mistake. The anchors jut out a bit, and I attached this one so that the sticky out part sticks out. Rather than adjust the slats, I just cut out a bit of the slat to make room for the sticky out part. Next, the gate itself. I am a little paranoid about doors. I am confident that I will screw it up, and the door will be crooked and horrible and I'll have to tear it all down. I found some video from a guy who replaced an antique, limb-rending garage door with a stable door, and he used this product. I figured I'd give it a go. And it was super easy to put together. Though I did some idiot measuring. See what I did here? I forgot to factor in the height of the top rails and the bottom rails when I cut the sides, so these are too long. Yeah. 2 boards too long. So I took it apart, chopped it shorter, and put it back together. And then those anchors got in my way. Can't drive screws through the metal, so I deconstructed it again, cut them short again, and then put it together for the 3rd time. I dragged my wife out to hold it up. She was only mostly recovered from a migraine and was not happy about it. This gap is a little bit wider than I thought it would be, but I can probably fill it up, or if I need to, I don't know, we'll see. I know the dog can't slip out through that. After that, I just screwed the slats in. Then the hardware. I use this latch to keep it closed. I use cedar to build the fence and gate, but I read a bunch about how it turns an ugly gray over time. So I thought I'd seal it to prevent that, and I bought this sealer product from Home Depot. I thought it was a stain, and it would enhance the color of the cedar, but still leave the grain exposed and visible. I was so wrong. It was more like a paint than a stain. As my son and I painted it, I kept hoping that when it dried, it would clear a little bit, just like happens with water-based polyurethane. I was wrong. I think the orangey color is okay, and I was going to leave it for a while, but my wife simply despised it. This is my new house in West Seattle. It's a century old, with half a century of deferred maintenance, and a couple of odd decisions by the last homeowner. Subscribe to my channel to catch all the different projects that I undertake to get this place updated.